On May 27th, we had our first conversation around leadership, rising up and digging deep. 10 people joined us, all of whom were there for different yet related reasons. One person said she was there to find her purpose, to figure out how it is she can share during this time of pandemic. One person said they were just starting to see themselves as a leader and they wanted to own that feeling of being a leader. Another person said she saw herself as a leader, but not in all spaces, and she wanted to explore how she can be a leader in every space in which she shows up. There was someone who felt they weren't up to the tasks that the pandemic was challenging us to meet, and there was others who felt that they were ready to fight right now. There was someone who was there just to hear the diversity of perspectives on the call. There was someone else who felt like the new normal, what's going to come next, will be defined by the people on this call, that we can shape the future, and they want to be part of that conversation. There were a couple of people who were there so that they can have their soul fed, and they felt they really needed it at this time. And there was someone who was there because primarily she just needed to re-energize. The question that we talked about for most of the call was, what was your overarching strategy as a leader in dealing with this pandemic? And again, there were some common themes, but really interesting individual perspectives. So someone said the most important thing was to stay grounded in your values, to stay the course on your values, and you cannot divorce your strategy from your values. In fact, you need to dig deeper into your values. And in fact, that was one of those common themes that many different people said. There was the idea of listening, exploring questions, not trying to come up with answers, having lots of conversations, daily conversations with your team to explore these questions. There was the idea of finding the openings, like we talked about on our last call, finding those cracks in this situation of a pandemic, and then prototyping, trying new things, see what you can do to meet the needs of the moment, and then learning from what you did. And letting your strategy emerge from what you try and learn. There was discussion about the importance of taking care of yourself so that you can stay strong. There was conversation about believing in people, bearing real witness, holding on to your moral compass, and how important that was in the midst of all of this. We felt we needed to name the culture we wanted to create, and finally, this was across everything that everybody said, or just about. The focus always has to be on relationships. We need to continue our focus on really good relationships, and the really good relationships that we've built over time have helped to bring us where we are now and enabled us to deal with this situation. And where we struggled, it was often because those relationships weren't there. So we are meeting again on June 11th at 3 p.m. and having more of this kind of conversation. People are welcome. Everybody is welcome. Let Hope, Freda, or myself know if you want to join us. And thank you to all who were there for the conversation.